Gina Phillips, our good friend Gina Phillips, just came out with an excellent video. If you haven't watched it, I encourage people to go watch it, a decode on the inauguration. And she brought up Lady Gaga. Now, it's funny these two things are going hand in hand. This person, this megachurch pastor you're talking about, came out and was talking about she felt peace, right? So let's talk about what the dove is, because Gina decoded the dove, and I wrote this down word for word pretty much from that video she did. She said the dove. Now, we've been talking about how these megachurch pastors are Illuminati, right? And I'm going to go into a little bit more of that in just a second here. And so the dove is a symbol of Aphrodite, Venus, and Isis. They're all the same, but it goes back to Aphrodite, right? It's their peace is not our peace. It says when the cabal or the Illuminati show the dove, it's the Antichrist dove. It's not biblical, godly, Christian peace. It's the peace that the Antichrist is going to bring.
That's correct.
It is the Antichrist system. So for a megachurch pastor to be pointing that out, what does that tell you? What does that tell you, brother?
Spirit of Antichrist, Mark. And they're pushing it. They're pushing the same agenda. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're pushing the same agenda. So again, we've warned about this on this show. Be careful who you follow, because you even got some prophetic voices out there doing it, guys. And this is why we have to be so careful, Chris. And so, look, when we can kind of move into this. Now, this is what God is doing right now. Think about this for a second. I don't know if everybody ever remembers seeing the Trump video that was circulating. It's about maybe a 1 minute video. It was years ago of an interview that he did with someone. And he said, quote, "I would love to lose everything for a short period of time."
I remember that. Yes.
"So that I could find out who was loyal to me." Now, I want people to listen to that for a second. I would love to lose everything for a short period of time so that I would find out who's loyal to me. What has the president done? The perception is he's lost everything. He's finding out now who's loyal to him. He's finding out the political leaders. He's finding out the religious leaders. He's finding out every single Tom, Dick, and Harry out there that is loyal to him and those who are not. And they're coming out of the cracks like we've talked about before, like a bunch of cockroaches right now. He's finding out who's loyal to him, because, Chris, this thing's not over, brother. Trust me when I say this thing's not over. And so what is happening right now? Let's flip that for a second, and let's go into the prophetic on that for a second. What is God doing right now? The same exact thing. Prophetically, they're running parallel, the political and the spiritual, like I've talked about. That's what my message has been about. The exposures would parallel everything in the spiritual and the political. What is God finding out right now? Who are part of the Baal system. So, I mean, this is what God is doing right now. Literally. This is what we're finding out. We're finding out who is loyal to God, who's going to stay in the trenches in faith, and who's going to bail. Choose this day whom you are going to serve, because the perception of the people is, even the Christians, we've lost everything. So now God is saying, okay, who's going to be loyal to the kingdom of God? Who's going to be loyal to me at this point?
Right. Well, and Mark, it goes beyond Donald Trump. Okay, Donald Trump is a figurehead, but this goes to the fight for this nation's soul. This goes to the things that Trump was set here to do. It goes to the fact that, look, we had the most pro-life president that we've ever had. We had the most Christian, favorable to Christianity president we've ever had. We had the most president we felt like that was committed to justice we've ever had. Look, under his regime, under his administration, there was, without a doubt, the greatest effort to take down trafficking, sex trafficking, child pedophilia, all these rings, all these things that were affecting children in a criminal way, the abuse. Look, I think back over his 4 years, and there was more arrest about abuse cases in this country. I remember every day we turn on our networks and put headlines up. It was unreal, the number of cases that were being all over this world. It wasn't just here, all over this world. So many people were being arrested for abuse, pedophilia, trafficking, all this under President Trump. And there was a sense that justice was at our door, that justice was finally going to be served on so many that needed it served on. And they still do tonight. Right. And again, it's going to be a little harder right now with Biden in place, but it doesn't mean it's not coming. And speaking of Biden, Obama is advising him. And Mark, I'm going to just give you some shout out here tonight. you got creamed. You literally got creamed by people that was like, well, Mark Taylor just missed it. Oh, there's no Biden third term. There's no way that, Obama third term. There's no way that he's serving the third term. You can't do it. I would argue tonight that for however long this goes on, Obama is basically serving a third term. He's doing it as a proxy through Joe Biden. That's a fulfillment of that word the Lord gave you back in 2016 when the Lord told you that was what would happen. And again, look at what that word. You didn't expect it to be this way. I didn't expect it to be this way. But I think the Lord's doing both. I think that he's letting a lot of people realize that, again, these things don't appear as the movie in our head. They appear as the movie in God's head. And the way God works this out is going to be the way it's going to. And if that's going on, that should tell us that all that book, the book you've got, the prophecies that has to have President Trump in office to do them, they're coming to pass too, brother. That's just my take on it. That's just me.
And again, he's got to get in for a second term in order for those to come to pass. So now let's go back here in the Wayback Machine a few months here, and we'll talk about how we were talking about the corporation, the Act of 1871. Now, there's a lot of talk out there right now. This whole corporation thing's coming to a head now. We don't know it. We can't vet it. We can't verify that it's been taken down. That's just a theory that's out there. That's a theory that I my personal opinion, that I felt like that this could really end a lot of things. It could be the lawsuits. I don't know at this point. But there was a very good article by the Marshall Report that people can read, and they went in depth on what the corporation is.
I read it. It's good.
So if people don't know, don't have any information on that, they really need to read that, because it'll really help educate them. And what she feels like has already been done of the corporation being taken down, because if he's taking the corporation down, then all of this stuff goes away. That means Joe Biden is not the legitimate president. He is a CEO of a defunct, bankrupt corporation, and that Donald Trump would become the 19th president of the United States for America under the original Constitution, right? Now, why am I saying all this? Because she had a picture on here that she put on her article, and I'll give her credit for the picture. And I got it on my phone, so I'm show it on this. It's the Roman Power Pyramid. Now, if you look at this,
right,
it's Washington, D.C., London, City of London, and the Vatican, right?
Right.
Now, I want everybody to look at let me just zoom in just a little bit here.
Let me do you one better. I've got it right here. I'm going to pull it on the screen. You go ahead and describe it, and they can look at the screen. I've got it. I pulled it down tonight just in case you were going to talk about it. Go ahead.
Yep.
Talk about it now. Go ahead.
Is it up?
It's up. Yep.
Okay. So if you look at the pyramid, you've got in order like 13 levels, including the eye. You got 13 levels. The top is the Jesuits, second Illuminati, Knights Templar, Knights of Malta, 32nd degree plus Freemasons, and then what's the next one there?
Organized
religion.
Yep.
What does that tell you, Chris? What have we been talking about on this show for how long now? Organized religion is part of the system. It's part of the pyramid, the New World Order. Now, I want to keep going with this, because if you look all the way to the bottom, you'll see NGOs, think tanks, and big charities. What are NGOs?
501c3s.
Non-profits. 501c3s, guys. This is what we've been screaming about. Think about this for a second. Now, people say, well, it's not a big deal, right? It's at the bottom of the pyramid. It's not that big a deal. No, you're looking at this wrong. Why is it at the bottom of the pyramid?
Foundation.
Because thank you. It's the foundation upon which everything on the pyramid is built. Why? Because they're coming in the name of the Lord and disguising it under what? Good works. Big charities, think tanks, and nonprofits do what? Good works. Now, I want to go back to something you said a minute ago, because you had no clue I was going to talk about this, and you said compromising with evil. Now, I want to talk about something. Would God ever compromise with evil, Chris?
Never.
Why? Because he's a holy God, and he would never compromise with evil. Now, I hear this I've heard this. Look, the 501c3 prophecy's been out for like almost 5 years now. I've heard it for 5 years from every pastor, prophetic voice, you name it, that the 501c3 is a good thing. You don't understand the amount of good work that we do. I hear all the excuses every single time. Folks, look at that. Do you think God, on the bottom of that pyramid, do you think God would ever say, you know what, guys, you're doing pretty good work, so I'm going to let you guys be a part of the pyramid, the Illuminati pyramid, the cabal, the Baal system. I'm going to let you be a part of this so you can do good works. Would God ever tell someone that, Chris?
No.
Because if they did, you're not hearing from the same God that I serve, period.
Yep.
So something is bad wrong here. And I want people to see this because organized religion is like the fifth one down there.
Yep.
Sixth one down. So organized religion. What have we been screaming about? Religion, religion, religion. Now notice, we've been talking about this. You've got the City of London, which is a entity of itself inside London. You've got Washington, D.C., which is an entity inside of America, and Vatican. Who's at the top? Vatican. What is the root of all the political stuff that's going on right now?
The Vatican.
Religion.
Yep.
Vatican. It all goes, all roads lead to where? Rome. The Roman power pyramid, guys. So again, when you have someone that's telling you that the 501c3, no, I'm sorry, God would never, ever compromise with evil because he can't. He's a holy and just God. He cannot compromise with evil. So what makes us think that we can, Chris?
No.
Why would we sacrifice our beliefs? You cannot serve two gods. If you're in that pyramid, which we see organized religion is and nonprofits are, you are serving the wrong God. And this is what I was talking about earlier, Chris, in that Trump video, when he was talking about, I'd love to lose it all to find out who's loyal to me. We've had the appearance that we've lost it all right now in our perception, the Christians have. So they're lashing out at everybody. You, me, family members, they're lashing out everywhere. God's finding out right now who is loyal to him. And he's saying, choose this day whom you are going to serve. And that's the part that really breaks my heart because, look, we have some good prophetic voices out there. We have some good prophetic voices that are in that pyramid, believe it or not.
Right.
But because they took a bribe, like we've talked about, through the 501c3, it blinds the eyes of the wise and perverts the words of the righteous. They're blinded to the system so they can't see it. And some of them can see it, don't want to come out because they're hooked on the wealth and the influence that the system can give them. But yet they don't want to rely on God to give them that in his timing and in his way. But there's others that just can't see it. They're blinded. And I believe this is why this has been a rescue mission to come out here and educate people on this stuff and help get them out of this system. Even the true prophetic voices that are caught up in this, they have a level of defilement on them. There's nothing we can do about it. We've all got a level of defilement on us. That's what the Christian walk is about, is getting rid of that defilement. But that's what this rescue mission has been about from day one with this 501c3 message, because the Lord gave me that message when I wrote the prophecy. He said, Mark, many have come before you with this message. He says, but they have not listened. He said, you are the last before my judgment falls.
Right. Well,
judgment's here, buddy.